Dogs again. Number 33, Brett Dieter, gets his hands up. Tiger Cannon scooping up the loose change. It's their second block punt, returned for a touchdown here already in the first quarter.
And then coming into this game, Crown only allowed one block punt. That came against Minnesota Morris, as that extra point is good. But they've also allowed 4 block kicks entering this ballgame.
Yeah, special teams is so important, especially in the playoffs. I mean, look at how this has flipped the momentum. This has completely turned this game upside down. There's 2 touchdowns that Wheaton's offense hasn't even been on the field for. And yet that has fueled this Wheaton team to continue to play. And now Crown is down 4 scores.
Of course, for Wheaton, as we said, Crown's coming to this game with their first playoff appearance. Meanwhile, for Wheaton, 15th playoff appearance, their 5th and 6th season. We'll get a little bit further once we get into this game about some of the playoff disappointments that they've had. But as we said before, Wheaton is hungry. Not only do they want to beat Crown today, but they also want to have a date with Wartburg.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And a lot of these guys were on the team 2 years ago in that heartbreaking loss to Wisconsin Whitewater after being up 14 at halftime, giving up that lead, and then barely missing the playoffs last year. A lot of these guys are hungry, and there's a seniority right now that is showing its head for Wheaton. The Polars trying to figure it out with their young squad.
Rudy Kreiner yet again on the return. Driven down back near the 20-yard line, but they're going to mark him short.
Tackle on the play, number 33, Dieter. Ball brought to the 19-yard line, first down, Crown.
Crown still yet to pick up a first down. Not great field position. Coming from the 19. But again, Wheaton has been extremely aggressive on third downs, even on third down and longs when you expect a team to kind of drop back and play coverage. But they have gotten after Courtney and this running game as a whole. See if it's much of the same.
Courtney off the play fake. Pressure from Johannek. Going to lob it up deep down the field. Oh, what a grab! Jakari Honeycook has the reception. A much-needed explosive play for the Polars.
And that's exactly what they needed. They go play action. They get Honeycook on motion so that he is at full speed when the ball is snapped. And just some miscommunication from the safety Colin Moore in the corner down here to the boundary, Grady Gann. Beautiful throw and a beautiful catch, and that's the type of spark play that this Crown team is able to do. They've just got to find more opportunities to do so.
Of course, Crown not necessarily known for their passing, as you said. Coming into this game, averaging 84 passing yards. This is a team that's really built through the running game.
Yeah, really built through the running game, but their passes throughout the games have been shot plays like that one. They like to go deep. They like to stretch the field, get one-on-one matchups on the outsides. So we'll see how they continue to do that. Wheaton's secondary has been tested throughout the year, so we'll see if they continue to try to take shots like that deep.
They roll the pocket to the left. Courtney looking. Courtney, watch out. He's taken down again for the 5th sack by Wheaton in the first quarter.
There's another great play, and this is a designed rollout. The right tackle, number 55, Ashton Davis, is not expecting Courtney to stop. He's expecting him to continue running or throw the football. He's just got to get in the defensive lineman's way just enough. But because Courtney pumped the brakes, the backside pressure was able to get there. Great coverage downfield for another sack.
Second down and 14. Courtney to the outside. That pass is picked off. They're going to say it is Grady Gann, his first interception of his career.
You have to be really, really careful throwing the ball to the short side of the field underneath when they're playing a cloud coverage. That's what Grady Gann was in right there. He's playing the hard flat. anything underneath 7 yards, he is driving on it because he's got safety help over top. And that ball was late coming out of Courtney's hands, and it was behind him. Grady Gann was able to jump in front of that pass.
They'll shut the play down. There are flags on the play. First time we'll hear from Jason Nickel.
It's like it'll be an offsides, clearly.
Offsides. Defense, number 56, with contact. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
They will call it against the senior nose tackle, Millicent Greer, but you were kind of alluding to this before. Wheaton has excelled offensively, defensively, and special teams could not ask for a better start.
Yeah, absolutely. They have come out ready to play, absolutely humming on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. And here's another big run.
That is Matt Kreider, the former Dayton Flyer, rumbling forward inside the 20-yard line before taken down by Rudy Kreiner.
This is a beautiful play call. As the replays here, they go a formation into the boundary, the short side of the field, and then they run it back to the wide side of the field. They get the crack block from the wide receiver, Caleb Titherington. They pull the guards and seal off the box, and it's just so much running room as they're set up in business back up again in the red zone.
Ball spotted at the 16-yard line. RPO for Cucci as with Jewett. Jewett immediately taken down by Nathan Tomlinson.
It's a good play by Nathan Tomlinson, understanding that he's got the end zone behind him, so he can kind of sit on that route, making that a minimal gain. But Wheaton will take that all day. Crown's got to find a way to get a stop here. A tip ball, a strip sack, just a stop is what they need here.
Second catch of the day for Jewett. Kreider the one in motion. They'll fake the screen. And for Cucci, a tunnel screen to Ben Juska. Incomplete.
The Polars are very, very lucky that this did not go. But good interior pressure right there was able to kind of throw Mark Forcucci off a little bit and not have an accurate pass off the fingertips of Ben Juska. And now it's a third down, and this is where Crown wants to be as they're showing pressure here.
Now they're actually the first incompletion for Mark Forcucci, previously 6 of 6. Forcucci once again over the middle. It is caught for the touchdown by Ben Juska.
In the end zone for the Thunder touchdown.
Do your dance, young man. There's a great job from Wheaton as they finish on third down. Mark Forcucci has been lights out so far here in this game, making the defense pay. That's his second passing touchdown here early.
Mateo Jesh on the extra point, and it is good. 34-0 here in the first round of the NCAA playoffs on ESPN+.
Go play action. This is actually a really good job up front, keeping Mark Forcucci contained. But the coverage on the backside just kind of breaks down. Ben Juska finds his way open for another touchdown. And as we're inside of 2 minutes right here, I mean, this is, you couldn't think of a better start if you're Wheaton. Crown, you're just trying to find ways to try to saw into this lead, try to chip away at this, get some stops. There's still a lot of game left. This is playoff football. We don't know what's going to happen over the next 3 quarters, but if Wheaton continues to play like this, it could be lights out here in a few minutes.
I mean, Wheaton only has 178 yards of offense. They have not had to move the ball that much.
Yeah, well, their field position has been fantastic, and then 2 of the touchdowns, 13 of Wheaton's points have come from punt blocks, and those being returned for touchdowns. So you kind of take a few of those factors out, and Wheaton offensively has not been very challenged since they've had great field position and they've had some help putting up points from their special teams units.
Obviously, Jamarius Courtney has not had the game that he's wanted, but entering this game, UMAC Offensive Player of the Year, first team all UMAC, as you said, 1,619 rushing yards, second in all of Division III, and also coming into this game with 17 rushing touchdowns, which is good enough to be 11th in all of Division III.
Yeah, he is an exceptional player. He's wearing number 16, so it reminds me of Lenore Sellers a little bit in just his creative ability to be able to use his legs, but also to be able to throw the ball exceptionally well down the field. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to have the day that he has wanted.
It looks like that was a busted play because he was handed off to the wrong side. It's going to be no gain and it's second down.
That's exactly what it is, and that's been kind of the story of the game in the first half. If you're just now tuning in, just some miscommunication. Those are the type of things that can really hurt you, especially when you're trying to crawl back into the game, trying to build some momentum before the quarter ends.
And for Courtney, with all these sacks, he has minus 14 rushing yards. Nearly under a minute to go here in this first quarter. A QB blast with Jamarius Courtney. Courtney rumbling forward to about the 30-yard line to get back some of those lost yardage and then some.
And that's a bit of a different look that I think could really benefit Crown. They kind of go with the spread look, and then they go with the straight QB run. They're not pulling any guards, not giving the defense any tells that it's going to be explicitly a run play. Maybe they'll go back to that a little bit more, try to spread out this Wheaton defense because they've just been packing the box and keying in on the run game on early first and second downs.
Crown still looking for their first third down conversion. They are 0 of 3. 7 on the play clock. Courtney out to his right, now steps up. He's going to look to take off and run. Jamarius Courtney plowing ahead, and he's got the first down with forward progress. It's going to mark that at the 39-yard line.
And as we go to the replay, you see he's rolling out, doesn't see anything downfield, and look at that burst. He gets upfield so quickly.
That's the end of the first quarter.
As we finish up the first quarter, Wheaton's going to have to keep an eye on that because that is their offense pretty much. Courtney just going and doing what needs to be done, sticking his foot in the ground, making away with his legs. He hasn't been able to do it in the designed quarterback run game, so we'll see if he's able to kind of extend that and give his team some life in some other ways through the passing game and the improvisation game.
Let's now talk about Coach Scott, 22nd Wheaton head coach. Obviously played at Wheaton in 2009. You've called him an incredible coach. You have had the honor of playing with him. What makes him such a special coach?
Yeah, well, he is an offensive genius. When it comes to the X's and the O's, he knows how to manipulate defenses. I think our offense here at Wheaton is one of the deepest in the entire country, just in terms of how many motions, how many shifts, how many different things we can do out of so many different formations. It's a lot mentally, but when you get to that point of being on the same page with Coach Scott and what he has designed this offense for, it's really great.
5th season with Wheaton, 45-11. At one point had 4 consecutive playoff appearances. First Wheaton coach to ever pull that feat off. Started the second quarter here in this first round of the NCAA playoffs. Owner will take on Wartburg. From the 39-yard line, Courtney's going to keep it himself on the option, but he is belted back for a loss of 1.
There's a bit of an exotic look from Crown. They go with the motion and try to bring back the triple option. They've done that pretty much all year, trying to get their receivers involved. But they've showed it so much on film that, again, Wheaton was ready for it. They've got to find different ways to try to open up this running game. They're not going to be able to just pass them to death. They've got to be able to find ways to get it going between the tackles or even on the perimeter here.
That's Christian Lloyd, who's decked by Rex Kroger. 3rd down and long for Crown.
Yeah, this defense is extremely hard to run around. You see Rex Kroger, number 2, chasing it down, and then great leverage from Luca Torti, number 8, keeping his leverage outside, trusting that he's got help coming from the inside. There was nowhere for them to go on that run, and they're still hunting for. Actually, they just converted on the 3rd down right before the quarter ended. But they're looking for another one here so that they can keep this drive alive and get their defense some more time to rest.
Roll the pocket to the right. Courtney now is going to step up and run. He's got a lot of green grass, and he'll get the first down. Back-to-back times we've seen Jamarius Courtney take matters into his own hands and do it himself.
Yeah, Wheaton goes with the blitz once again, but since he's moving already in the pocket, he's able to find space and just stick his foot in the ground because there's so much green grass. That's something that Wheaton is going to have to watch out for, because on 3rd downs they've just been sending the house and playing man behind it. But if Courtney can get past that initial rush of those 5 defenders, of those 6 defenders that are blitzing, there is no one left in the middle of the field. Could present some big play opportunities.
He now has 17 rushing yards with all that. Courtney keeps it himself. Jamarius Courtney finds a pile of Wheaton players, maybe a gain of 2.
Take a second to look at this Crown offensive line. At left tackle, they've got Quincy, who is at 260 pounds, standing at 6 feet. John Martin is 6'1", 290 at left guard. Steven Ramirez, 5'7", 260 in the center spot. And then Phil Torres and Ashton Davis, both on the right side. Torres at 6'3", 330. And Ashton Davis, 6'3", 300 pounds. This is not a small offensive line, but they've got to find a way to get a push up front.
2nd down and 7. QB keeper Courtney breaking 2 tackles. He's still going. Low on the shoulder. Right on Joseph Bracey, right near the 1st down sticks, and it looks like they'll say it's 3rd down.
Yeah, this was interesting that instead of leaving the defensive end unblocked, they double team Peter Johannick and leave Maxton Leathers, the interior defensive tackle, unblocked. And Courtney is able to get around him. Usually teams like to read the outside defensive end so that they can have runs straight up the middle that are blocked up. But a good wrinkle in their running game that allowed Courtney to get outside. Great blocking there, and sets them up with a 3rd down and short.
Brown has converted on their last 2 3rd down conversion. Here's Courtney keeping it himself. Jamarius Courtney dragging Luca Torti with him. He's got yet another 1st down.
And this is the type of Polar's offense that we have seen throughout the season. This is what they want to be, getting downhill. You see big number 69, John Martin. Big number 75, Phil Torres, pulling both of the guards to get them out in space to block for Courtney. He picks up the 1st down, and now they're sniffing the red zone. And after 2 1st down conversions, or 3 1st down conversions on this drive in totality, they're trying to put points up on the board, and they've got some momentum right now.
For Jamarius Courtney, he's had a 100-yard rushing game in every game but one, as he'll keep it himself. Caleb Coburn first to meet him.
Number 16, Courtney with the ball.
Caleb Coburn, number 25, right on time, making a big play. He is their will linebacker, and he is on the field to stop the run. 59 total tackles coming in to today. And he is an absolute headhunter on the defensive side of the ball for Wheaton. It's a good stop on 1st down and 10.
Coburn Jr. out of Palm Harbor, Florida, playing in his 20th game. A little surprised that he was not named all CCIW this past week. It's as Zeke Harris was one of the players to meet Devin Williams.
Devin Williams, the ball carrier.
That's a really good job from Grady Gann, number 5, the corner down here to the boundary. They're trying to run an exterior run play. But look at number 5 setting the edge, turning that ball back inside, in great pursuit from the interior of the box. to keep that to a very minimal gain, only a gain of 2.
So now 3rd and 8. Crown's been pretty good on 3rd down conversions in this drive. And honestly, this has been their best drive. Long, sustained, they don't want it to end, and Xavier, this might potentially be 4-down territory.
It has to be, just as long as you don't have any negative plays here, no sacks.
Courtney rolling out to his right. Jamarius Courtney off his back foot, lost for the end zone, and the pass is it caught for the touchdown? It is. That is Christian Lloyd, his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. What a spectacular catch, and Crown's finally on the board.
What a play, what a catch from Christian Lloyd. Crown was able to pick up some key 3rd down conversions to keep that drive alive, and they find a way to get into the end zone just over the hands of Colin Moore.
Ryken Hoekstra converts on the extra point. Let's go back to the replay. That was incredible.
Yeah, so they go play action once again. They roll him out, and nothing's really open. This is double coverage. That ball was in the air for a long time, and as I was watching it, it looked like Colin Moore had a really good beat on it. He had great leverage over top, but just stopped moving. Misjudged it a little bit, and coming from number 24, he's got 6 interceptions on the year. I thought that one was going to be his 7th, but Christian Lloyd tracking that ball down. Great concentration, not allowing that fall to deter him from catching the ball. And Crown has found their way onto the board for their first 7 points of the game.
His 2 other touchdowns came against Minnesota Morris as well as Northwestern. But a much-needed score by the Polars to avoid that goose egg. And you never know the defense, one of the best out of the UMAC, as that is going to be a kick out of bounds and a penalty.
He thought those out of bounds.
Seem to be some extracurriculars on the field. Get the free kick out of bounds sorted. As we go down to the field.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team, number 26. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down, Wheaton.
So now Wheaton's offense coming back out onto the field. And of course, Mark Fercucci, he's been an excellent quarterback in the CCIW. The only problem is that he's been overshadowed by 2 other quarterbacks the last 2 years. Of course, North Central, Luke Lanen and Garrett Wilson. Fercucci, quick pass to the outside. He's got Seth Kortnoven. Kortnoven turning on the accelerator as he takes it across midfield. Tackle made by Luke Johnson.
Outside of the Caleb Titherington touchdown earlier, Wheaton has just been nickel and diming this Polars defense up and down the field with quick out routes, hitches, and then on that time, just a quick screen, just flipping it out there for a big gain. It looks like this one might come back as there was a flag on the play, maybe a holding, depending on where that spot is.
Holding, offense, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 1st down.
The penalty will be called against Whit Jewett. And you mentioned Crown's offensive line. Wheaton's offensive line, very solid, of course. A lot of attention coming on Aiden Kingsbury, but also Aiden Byrne and David Nussbaum earning all CCIW honors.
Yeah, this Wheaton offensive line has played terrific without their starting center, Luke Self. He tore his MCL last week. But they have made all the adjustments that they've needed to throughout the entirety of this season.
Fercucci able to hook up with Caleb Titherington before Rudy Kreiner able to push him out of bounds. And looks like we got another injured player on the field. Nelson Greer a little bit slow to get up, but he's able to walk on his own power for now.
Injury timeout for the defense. Please reset the game clock to 8 minutes, 8 seconds. Thank you.
You know, when the All-CCIW list came out, the players I expected got on the list, but one guy I did not really expect, Riley Howard. What makes him such a special player for Wheaton?
Well, even though he's not always catching the football and taking it up the field, scoring a ton of touchdowns. He is an absolute bruiser in the running game and in the passing game. See him lined up in the backfield right now, but he is a primary blocker, and he does a really good job at what he does.
For Coochie, lob pass to Caleb Titherington. A great breakup by Jalen Gray, the freshman out of Monroe, Louisiana, second-team All-UMAC.
Yeah, Jalen Gray with a beautiful pass breakup. Marked for Coochie all day to throw, but that pass was behind him. He's trying to throw the field corner route, which is one of the harder throws to be accurate with. But Jalen Gray coming in, the freshman, only at 5'11", 175, but he plays very big. 58 tackles on the year, along with 2 interceptions. He makes a great play right there.
Of course, this is the #1 total defense and #1 scoring defense out of the UMAC, giving up an average of about 19 points per game. Here's Malachi Jones on the catch, turning it upfield. He's got a first down and a lot more. Taken down right near the 30-yard line by Kreiner.
Malachi Jones, tackle by number 1.
Yeah, the polar structure on the back end, if you've been watching how they line up, it's never the same on every single play, and sometimes that constitutes for some receivers just running wide open. If there's some miscommunication, that's what happened on that play. Malachi Jones making him pay.
Riley Howard, the one in motion. Now they'll give it to Malachi Jones. Feed it up the middle. Taken down near the 26, 25-yard line.
TJ Nelson, the nose tackle, another freshman on this team, working through the double team and getting there on time. Luke Johnson also, the linebacker, showing his face and bringing down the runner right there. They're going to have to see more of that. Even though that was only a 4-yard gain, they're going to have to be better at getting these runners to the ground, especially in the run game, and try to force Wheaton into some 3rd down and long chances, which they have not really seen today.
Out of the pistol look, Malachi Jones still has the football right up the middle. He's got a first down. A little bit of eye candy right there by Wheaton, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, a little bit of eye candy, but they just run power straight up the gut. The guard from the backside, JT Nichols, and then they pull number 44, Riley Howard, up into the hole. More of a counter look. But the middle of this defense has been just slightly porous for the Polars, and Wheaton has had success up the middle.
This time it's Ben Juska. Look at the speed from him. Is he in? He is. Touchdown, Wheaton. Showing off the burners for his 2nd rushing touchdown of this first half.
Wheaton with another explosive drive. That time just walking the ball all the way down the field through the running game. Talked at the top of the broadcast of how good their passing game is, and it is, but they can also get it done on the ground as well. They did it there. 6 more points for the Thunder.
Mateo Jesh adds on the extra point, 41-7. A Wheaton Thunder lead.
Go back to the replay. Got Ben Juska in the backfield. Looked like they had him initially. Tovar, number 57, wasn't able to quite get him down, and then the contain from the top side of your screen was just nowhere to be found, and Ben Juska finding his way into the end zone. Such an asset for this Wheaton offense over the years. And he's playing well just again today.
Just to kind of go around the rest of the Division III landscape, Muhlenberg leads Union 24-14. The winner of that matchup will take on Mount Union, who got the #1 overall seed from NPI. Susquehanna leads Washington Jefferson 21-17. The winner of that matchup will take on Christopher Newport. Hanover leads Grove City 17-0. The winner of that matchup will take on North Central. And Springfield Cortland tied 7 apiece, as the winner of that game will take on Johns Hopkins. As we said before, winner between Wheaton and Crown has a date with 5th-ranked Wartburg next Saturday. As the Crown trying to make a massive comeback, down early. And here is the return by Crown. And there's also a flag right there on the play.
Looks like there might either be a block in the back or a hold. This will most likely go against the Polars and pin them down even deeper within their own end.
Dallas Jahari Hunnicook on the return. Don't really expect him on the return. Normally it's Rudy Kreiner.
During the return, illegal low block. Return team, number 1. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So Rudy Kreiner guilty of the penalty.
Yeah, he just dives at number 7, Mansell Amos's legs, and kind of flips him up over top of his back. That is a penalty on every single day of the week.
So first down and 10 from the 8. With 5:35 left to go before the intermission. Courtney right up the middle. Jamarius Courtney is decked though. I believe that was Owen Downey, the first player to make the tackle.
Yeah, Owen Downing gets past the back block on number 68, the center, Ramirez, and is able to bring that play down. It looked like it was a really good setup. They fake to try to get the secondary to step out towards the quick screen that they had set up. But one block, or one missed block rather, constitutes only a 1-yard gain.
Under 5 minutes to go, second down and 8. Turner Humphrey, the one in motion. Courtney over the middle has a completion. And it looks like a first down.
We go back to the replay. That's the same action that they got down the sideline to Jakari Hunnicook on a few drives ago, but that time the post route pops open. He's able to put it on his man for a first down. We don't have number 84's credentials here. We don't have a number 84 on the roster, so we'll try to get that figured out.
Courtney is going to keep it himself on the QB blast. Rex Kroger, one of the Wheaton players, on the tackle.
Courtney had to jump over his own lineman there, just tripped over his legs. And right now, if you're Crown, you got to be thinking, trying to milk this clock, see if we're the only ones that can keep the ball throughout the rest of the 2 minutes, because they get the ball to start the second half. Would love to get a twofer, but they've got to really, really get going here, pick up some more chunks.
29 rushing yards so far for Courtney. They'll stay on the ground game. Zeke Harris was the first Wheaton player to tackle Courtney before he lunged forward for a couple extra yards.
Zeke Harris, the Mike linebacker in this Wheaton offense, has played exceptionally well. First team all-conference. He's got 89 tackles coming into this year, leading this Wheaton defense. He's been exceptional as a sophomore, playing well beyond his years.
That's also going to be second in the CCIW, tied for 63rd in all of Division III. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets some all-region honors as well as some preseason American honors from D3Football.com next year. 3rd and 3. As we are approaching the 2-minute timeout, Crown must snap it, and they will. That pass is batted away by Luca Torti.
That is an amazing play from the preseason All-American Luca Torti. Courtney actually makes the right read. Luca Torti is way too close to the line of scrimmage for him to just hand that ball off. And the hitch route was wide open, but he makes a heads-up play. He sees that Courtney is rearing back, trying to throw behind his head, and the active hands get up and bat that ball down, which would have been an easy third down completion.
2 Wheaton returners are on for the return. Colin Moore's the one who takes it. Able to bounce off the tackle as Colin Moore bursting down the sideline. They might have ruled him down way earlier than they did at the 49-yard line. So Wheaton's offense once again gets good field position.
Wheaton doesn't come after this punt, and they try to set up the 2 returner look. Looked like number 8, A.J. Schaffer, actually had a chance to bring him down close to the 35, but that missed tackle springs Colin Moore. They're starting with the ball on their own 49-yard line. Still all 3 timeouts. The 2-minute warning still ahead of us. Wheaton looking to put up some more points before the half.
Matt Kreider in the ball game, and they will give it to him. Surging up the middle into Crown territory. Kevon Davis, the second-team All-UMAC, was the first one to touch him. As he continues to surge ahead.
And one of the reasons why Wheaton has had so much success offensively has been because of...
That's the 2-minute timeout.
We headed to the 2-minute timeout. The Polars' defense is a little bit different. They have a lot of defensive backs on the field, and they kind of allow them just to roam wherever. That can leave a defense gap sound or not gap sound when run plays like that come their way. And it's been able to run the ball effectively. They haven't even really had to stretch the ball down the field because of their efficiency underneath. The running game so far has been stellar for the Thunder.
Yeah, Wheaton only with 72 rushing yards so far, 69 net yards if we include the lost yards. But Mark Vercucci, only 11 of 13, 160 yards and 2 passing touchdowns through nearly 2 quarters.
He hasn't had to do very much. Obviously, over the span of the second half of this regular season, he has been on fire, threw for 6 touchdowns last week against North Park. But like we've been saying, the run game here offensively for this Wheaton College offensive line and for the running backs, even the tight ends, including Ben Juska, who has 2 rushing touchdowns today, have been on full display. And the Polars don't really have any answers for it right now.
So 2nd down and 3 after we eclipse the 2-minute timeout. Kreider on the carry, right up the gut. Matt Kreider spinning, twirling, taken down at the 35-yard line.
Number 32, Matt Kreider.
It is a beautiful thing when the running back hits
35-yard line by number 41.
the backside of a cut.
First down.
You saw that play was designed to go to the left, and the Polars actually were doing a great job of being gap sound, but he hits the back cut on the back door and finds great space.
Off the play fake for Vercucci, right over the middle, and it somehow holds in. Ben Juska, what a catch.
Number 18, Ben Juska.
They've been going run so consistently, and then they go with the play action, and Ben Juska is running wide open down the middle of the field, completely untouched. Looked like that ball was in the air for quite some time, but a great catch from Ben Juska. Great concentration. As a receiver, you kind of feel the ball in the air. You can kind of feel the defenders around you. You have to really be focused. But he was able to do that there.
Only the 2nd catch for Ben Juska. Vercucci still has the football. Now flips to the outside of Ben Juska. He's in for his 3rd touchdown of the ball game.
With a Wheaton touchdown, there's a flag after the
Wasn't a
play.
flag on the play. Hold everything. As the referees deliberate. Looks like it'll be a personal foul against the Polars.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, personal foul Defense, number 98. The offense will take that 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
So the penalty is against the nose tackle, TJ Nelson. Regardless, Ben Juska has the touchdown.
This Wheaton offense firing on all cylinders right now. Getting it done in the pass game, getting it done on the ground. A very complete performance from the offensive side of the ball for the Thunder.
Mateo Jesh on the extra point. It is good. 48-7.
We go back to the replay. There's 3 tight ends to the top of your screen. As a defense, you're thinking run, 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 and then they just slip out Ben Juska into the flat. Such an easy play call and such an easy read. Wheaton capitalizes once again on the short field position after getting a stop. And they continue to add to this lead.
Miami 20, Virginia Tech 3 at half.
So I just said Ben Juska has 3 touchdowns. He actually has 4 in the first half, 2 rushing and 2 receiving.
With 55 seconds left, we'll see what the Polars choose to do here, if they try to get aggressive with their play calling or try to kneel this out and just go into halftime. More likely than not, they probably won't have great field position, considering that Wheaton kick it from the 50. They'll probably try and pooch kick it, force a return, and try and pin them deep.
Instead, Mateo Jesh will boot this one away as it goes into the end zone for the touchdown. 55 seconds left to go. Wheaton so far really impressive, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, they've gotten after the quarterback, gotten so many sacks this game, but more importantly, they have been all over the running game for the Polars. That has been their bread and butter all year. 2,000-yard rushing team coming into today, but there hasn't been a glimmer of hope in terms of running the football for the Polars. They're going to try to figure that out and see if they can get some run generated. But we'll see how the play calling is with 55 seconds left up on the clock.
Yeah, only 171 total yards for Crown. Jamarius Courtney on the sweep is dragged down for a short gain.
Tackled by number 25, Caleb Coburn.
You just go with the quarterback blast once again, trying to get outside. That's one of those plays where if you break it wide open, then you can kind of consider trying to get extra points, but it doesn't seem like they're in any hurry. So they'll probably get 1, maybe 2 more plays off if they want.
Courtney, this time a handoff right to the middle to Devin Williams. Doesn't get that much, brings up 3rd down, but Crown in no urgency to run 1 more play.
I think that will end the quarter in the half.
So the Wheaton Thunder.
That's the end of the first half.
Here in this first round coverage on ESPN Plus, they lead 48-7. Xavier, your thoughts entering halftime?
Wheaton has came out humming. They are playing well on offense, defense, and on special teams, controlling the run game while they're on offense and while they're on defense. It's put them in a great spot, and obviously they've had some help from the kicking game as well. They've been playing really well on all facets.
Special teams contributing with 2 touchdowns. We'll bring you the start of the second half after these messages and word from ESPN Plus.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/sayyes-to-officiating for more information on how to get started.
They say that higher education is losing its relevance. We say that the Lord's work at Wheaton College is just beginning. It's been said that the cost of an education has never been higher. We say the need to equip future generations of Christian leaders has never been greater. Some say that academic libraries are where dusty books sit idle on shelves. We say they are the lifeblood of wonder and discovery within the liberal arts and a source of enduring knowledge. Some say that athletic programs are about winning at all costs. We say they are a training ground for student athletes who will lead their homes, churches, and communities long after the final whistle. And that's why we are moving faithfully forward to equip students with scholarships for academic and need-based aid, to elevate the campus experience by renovating our library and expanding our athletic facilities, and ultimately, to enhance Wheaton's missional leadership for Christ and His kingdom. They say that the college experience is fading. We say, at Wheaton, it's never been more relevant. What do you say? We invite you to join us as together we move faithfully forward.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
his own number. There's a big hole, and he's loose at the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4. Right on, picked it off at the 50, to the 35, to the 40, down the near sideline, and he's going to be down, he breaks a tackle, 5, 4. The pass, that's time, fires it downfield, and it's going to be picked off.
Taken down, the ball is loose, and it's going to be scooped up by the Polars and into the
back to pass, fires it, it's picked off to the 45, to the 40, down the far. Courtney takes himself on the right end, breaks one tackle, tries to break free, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, he could go, 10, 5, touchdown.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access and highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
When I came to Wheaton, I felt welcome. I felt the students loved one another. This was a place where I can really see myself growing. It just felt like home.
Wheaton will make you aware of how important community is.
I couldn't feel alone because people were just always around me, encouraging me.
When people are connected with others, you can't help but be joyful.
Wheaton will help you grow in your relationship with Jesus.
I get to learn things through the lens of my faith.
Wheaton will surprise you.
Wheaton students are really focused on excellence, all framed within the view of service.
To be here where it's okay to ask the hard questions, I think has kept me walking with the Lord.
We're called to be servant leaders as Christians just because anything that we gain on this earth is not our personal gain. It's all because of Jesus.
Wheaton matters because we will produce students who are more like Jesus than when they first came into college.
There's so many essential pieces of what it means to be human encapsulated here at Wheaton.
What makes Wheaton home, for me at least, is really just the people.
The people I met here made Wheaton home.
It actually feels like home.
It just felt like home.
Wheaton will feel like home.
Wheaton will change your life. Get comfortable. This place is amazing.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Welcome back to the start of the second half here in first round coverage of the NCAA Division III playoffs. The Wheaton Thunder have a 48-7 lead over the UMAC champs, the Crown Polars. The winner of this matchup will take on 5th ranked Wartburg next Saturday in Iowa. Alongside Xavier Jones, I'm Aiden Kong. Xavier, overall thoughts on that first half?
Wheaton came out firing on all sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. The Polars, who came in as a rushing team, weren't able to do what they needed to do on the ground to stay in this game, and just some big mistakes through special teams have kind of dug themselves in a big hole.
Yeah, so far Crown in this ball game has 47 rushing yards compared to Wheaton, who has 85. I mean, first half stats, Wheaton, it's not like they had 500 some odd yards in the first half, and they've had really good field position though, which is why they have such little stats to show for it.
Yeah, and they were much more efficient as well. Just with the short field, they took advantage of their opportunities, some very short drives, and some big plays on top of that.
And for Crown, what do they have to do in the second half to make any sort of comeback and pull off the upset against Wheaton?
Yeah, well, offensively, or actually defensively, they've got to be able to stop the run game of Wheaton. Wheaton has not been able to, or not really focused on throwing the ball down the field, but rather running the ball between the tackles. And if they want to get off the field on third down, they've got to be able to stop them early on first and second down in the run game. And then offensively, they've got to find ways to generate big plays. There's been a lot of plays where they have just only been able to get just a few yards. They've had a few chunk plays. One of them was a touchdown, but outside of that, they've got to find a way to generate some more offense on the ground and more particularly through the air, but still protect their quarterback.
Let's give a lot of credit to Ben Juska playing in his 40th game. He has not only 2 receiving touchdowns, but also 2 rushing touchdowns through one half.
He's been terrific. He had an injury early last year that put him out for the rest of the season, and he decided that he wanted to come back and be a positive influence on this offense, and he has. He's produced today. He's looking to continue to add to that. He's got a great first half so far.
For Mark Fercucci, 13 of 15, 198 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Again, not having to do that much. Meanwhile, for Crown, Jamarius Courtney, their quarterback, 5 of 8, 78 yards, a passing touchdown and a pick. But in terms of the running game, has been only limited to 43 rushing yards. What's surprising about him is that in every game but one, he's gone over 100 yards. And then in 2 games, he went over 200 rushing yards. Wheaton has done a good job limiting his impact.
Yeah, he's electric, and Wheaton knows that, and they have been keyed in on the run. They've been sending blitzes. They've been getting designed pressures, and particularly on third down, especially early on in the game, they sent pressure even on third down and long when you're thinking that, you know, a defense is going to kind of back off and just play some zone defense. They have not given him the opportunity to create, get outside of the pocket and find receivers downfield. They've had a good game plan. They've executed it so far, but towards the end of the half, they kind of allowed some of his more better runs to be had. So they've got to continue to keep the throttle down and keep him contained, or else he'll burn them.
Again, the winner of this matchup will take on 5th-ranked Wartburg next Saturday. Wheaton making their 15th playoff appearance, 18-14 overall. Meanwhile, Crown out the UMAC, first ever time winning the UMAC title and making the postseason. Trying to mount what would be an improbable comeback, but they do have the offensive firepower to do it. Crown will receive the ball to start this second half. Mateo Jesh to boot it away.
Begin quarter number 3, Wheaton will kick off and defend the west end zone.
Jahari Hunnicook as well as Rudy Greiner back deep to receive. As we are underway to start half number 2. First round coverage on ESPN Plus. And here is the return by Jahari Hunnicook. Take it down right near the 21-yard line. And that is where the Crown offense will start this third quarter.
By number 37, Gage Autry.
Crown coming
Injury
in.
timeout for the kicking team. Please reset the play clock to 40 seconds. Thank you.
Just an injury down on the field, but Crown has had the ball for 19 minutes of the first half in comparison to Wheaton's 10. They've had the ball a lot, but just haven't been able to move the ball consistently. They started out 0 for 3 on third downs. They've gotten that up to 4 out of 8 on third down conversions. they've got to find ways, again, like we just talked about, to generate big
Please
plays.
reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
If you're just wondering, Gage Autry's the one who was down. He made the tackle and looks like he is okay. Speaking about the Crown Polars, Coach Franz, he's also in his 5th season with the Polars. Even though he has a losing record, gotta really take those first 4 years out. But what's funny about him is that he spent most of his time at Dordt from 2012 to 2015, but mostly Trinity International, 2016 to 2021. The offensive coordinator at Trinity, Coach Butler, was at one point the head coach from 2018 to 2020. They were on the same coaching staff then, and they're on the same coaching staff now here at Crown.
Yeah, it's great to actually build chemistry and build relationships with coaches. A lot of times, especially at the bigger levels, you're able to kind of bring your entire coaching staff with you, and over time that kind of gives you the opportunity to build just a specific culture that you like, and you kind of build culture and build chemistry with your coaches that runs down to your players.
That was Donovan Solomon, still bursting forward. Second effort gets him 9 yards. Second team all UMAC from a season ago. A nice carry.
That was his most explosive run of the day. As he finds a crease, Wheaton not completely gap sound. It looked like they had it snuffed out. But Solomon finds his way through the line, finds a 9-yard gain, and that's a really good start if you're the Polars.
695 rushing yards last year, led the team 4th out of the UMAC. Second down and short, stay with Solomon on the ground game.
Number 37, Solomon, the ball
And it looks like they're not going to move the sticks. It's 3rd down.
It'll depend on the spot. Actually, they do call him short. But this Wheaton defense has been really tough to run against. Like you said, coming into this second half, Crown has only got 47 rushing yards up against Crown's 23 attempts. But because they're such a great rushing team, they've got to find ways to get the run game going.
As that was Jamarius Courtney on the run. Immediately decked by Luca Torti.
Number 67 from the offense lost his helmet. He will sit out one play. 4th down.
I was going to say no gain right there. So back-to-back gains of none, 4th down, and Crown. And it looks like they're going to keep their offense out on the field.
This is risky business, but right now, down 41 points. What choice do you have to make? I mean, every time Wheaton has gotten the ball, they've gotten it relatively in this spot in really good field position. So the Polars going with, what do we have to lose? Here, let's see what they draw up.
Donovan Solomon in the backfield, and they'll keep it with Jamarius Courtney. I don't think he got there. Chandler Bryant, a TFL, and Wheaton has excellent field position to begin the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Chandler Bryant just moving his way through a block. Phil Torres just could not stay in front of him, and the freshman came in this year from Allen, Texas, playing some great football down there in Texas. Came in, had a great camp, and they have utilized him all throughout this year. Even though he comes in secondary, he makes a huge play there on 4th down.
316 yards by Wheaton in the first half offensively. For Cucci, who stays in the game, has a hookup with Caleb Titherington, who will get that 1st down.
And that is the 3rd or 4th or 5th time that we've seen this RPO just with the winner's slant from a maximized split, just trying to attack that space. You saw in the replay, there is a lot of space out there. And they connect once again. Mark Fukuchi on target as he continues his impressive day through the air.
It's a wildcat formation by Wheaton. Juska with trouble with the snap. He's going to keep it himself. And there goes Ben Juska turning on the turbo jets. Is he into the end zone for the touchdown? He is not. He's going to be marked just short of the end zone. Looks like Nathan Tomlinson there on the tackle.
Really athletic play. He bobbles the snap initially, and he just outruns Jalen Gray, the safety who was there to meet him at the line of scrimmage, and then trying to extend across the goal line just short, but first down and goal for Wheaton.
It's actually Eddie Hallinger instead on the tackle right at the middle into the end zone, and it is a touchdown. Looks like Trent Gabriel, first touchdown of these playoffs, adding on to the Wheaton lead. And how about Gabriel? Very impressive end of season against Elmhurst, 12 carries, 102 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. His 6th rushing touchdown of the season.
Even though he is the third back in the rotation, he is so important to this offense. Not only a really good runner, but great in the pass. Can catch the ball out of the backfield and also pick up blitzers coming from the second level. But right there, he's rewarded for his labor for his 6th touchdown of the year. Go to the replay. Just a simple inside zone, and this Wheaton offensive line has been able to dominate the line of scrimmage. Very rarely have we seen any polars behind the line of scrimmage making plays, getting off of blocks early on in the play, and that has translated exceptionally well for this rushing attack for the Thunder today.
And we mentioned this before on our past broadcasts. If you look at the appearance in the D3 Hoops, D3Football.com top 25, Wheaton has the 4th most appearance out of all teams in Division III.
Yeah, it's incredible. Wheaton has been able to generate a lot of success over the years. I'm sure we'll talk about this at some point throughout the broadcast, but Wheaton has really struggled to kind of get over the hump. It's never been a question of, is Wheaton going to get in? It's always been a matter of how far are they going to go. Had a lot of first round, second round, some third round exits. You've only got 1 semifinal appearance in program history.
That was Rudy Kreiner on the return for Crown. I think they're going to give him forward progress at the 25-yard line. But yeah, those 4 other teams, they would be Mount Union, Mary Hardin, Baylor, and Linfield. That's the 1, 2, and 3, and then rounding out the rest of the top 10. Whitewater with the 5th most appearances, North Central at 6, St. John's at 7, Hardin Simmons at 8th, Johns Hopkins 9th, and then Delaware Valley 10th in terms of appearances in the D3Football.com top 25 since 2003. Those stats provided by D3 Data, who do an excellent job providing Division III athletics and their stats. So now the offense of Crown is back out onto the field. They trail 55-7. Honeycook the one in motion. Courtney out to his left. Throws high. That pass incomplete. They're trying to go back to Honeycook at 2nd down.
Yeah, they get Honeycook on the move, and he is the flat player for this naked boot. Rolling to the left, but just a bit high. Again, that's been just a microcosm of this game. One of the rare times that there's been an open receiver for an easy pass. And the righty rolling to his left, a harder throw, just kind of sails it. And instead of first down and maybe, or 2nd down and 4, now they're staring at a 2nd down and 10.
Courtney, they were going to roll the pocket to the left, and instead he'll take off and run. Lucatori brings him down from behind. As it'll be a first down gain all the way to the 31.
Those are the type of runs that Wheaton has been giving up more as the game has gone on. Courtney has found his way through this defensive rush. They were getting after him quite a bit, but the Polars offense are trying to move Sellers so that this pass rush can kind of be thrown off. And when that happens, there's lanes for Courtney to run. He found it there for a big gain.
From the 31-yard line, this time the carry. And that was Devin Williams met at the line of scrimmage at second down.
Again, on that play, on paper, if you're drawing that up, Caleb Coburn is supposed to be blocked by number 67, Donovan Quincy, who was pulling from the backside, but Caleb Coburn playing so fast, getting downhill. He's able to make that play before he has the opportunity to even engage in a block. It's the type of focus that they've put on this running game here so far, and it has paid dividends for them in terms of run defense.
Second down and 11. Honeycook the one in motion. Courtney feeling the pressure. He will escape. Jamarius Courtney showing off the wheels. He's still going. Caleb Coburn finally brings him down across midfield. But man, look at the improvisation from Courtney.
That is his best trait. The pocket is condensed. Looks like Wheaton might have a chance to get him down, but they don't. The pursuit stops for half a second. And he's able to find some more room for another first down, and this is something that you have been missing the entire game. And you see how different this offense, how much better this offense can be when he's got those opportunities to move the football.
Devin Williams is in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Williams taken down by Zeke Harris as well as Caleb Coburn. But looks like they'll give credit to Harris.
There's another flag. Looks like it's going to be on Wheaton. There's the run from the last play. Wheaton swarming to the football. Referee's deliberating right now, but I believe this will be against the Thunder.
Okay. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, first down.
That's against Rex Kroger.
That is number 2's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
So it goes against Rex Kroger as Crown tags on an extra 15 for this drive.
Under no circumstances should there be any unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, especially if you're up in this game by a considerable amount. There shouldn't be anything extra going on after the whistle, but Rex Kroger found himself in that spot.
Courtney out to his left. Still being rushed by Ethan Brunner as Jamarius Courtney takes off again. Gets up a little bit. Modest gain all the way to the 28-yard line.
And it's tough with the sprint out play because, yes, you're kind of neutralizing the pass rush, which has been so lethal for Wheaton's defense today, but it only limits you to one half of the field. And when all of that is covered up like it was on that last play, puts you in a bad spot, but great improvisation skills from Courtney to turn that into a positive gain.
They'll credit the tackle to Zeke Harris. He is the leading tackler on this team with 7. 2nd and 5 for Crown. Courtney out to his right, sets up for the end zone. The pass is it caught? They're going to say it is. That's a touchdown for Crown. That is Cartier Gordon, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season.
It's the 2nd touchdown that we've seen from Crown, that the receivers are just not giving up on the football. That should have been an interception, but Gordon going up and snatching that football out of the air, that is a beautiful play. And now they've added some to their score here today as there's another flag.
For Courtney, his 2nd passing touchdown of the game. I mean, this is the UMAC Offensive Player of the Year, first team all UMAC. And Courtney,
the result of the play is a good try. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team, number 50. 15-yard penalty will be added to the kick.
It's going to go against Tel Friskinger of Crown.
That is number 50's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
But that thing's being said for Jamarius Courtney. If you know his story, he was recruited by Crown to come play. Instead, he went the JUCO route. He went to Iowa Central Community College. Didn't get as much playing time right there, and then decides, you know what, I am going to come to Crown. What's funny about all of this is that the house that he's at, it's right near his coach's house. In fact, they are next door neighbors of his head coach.
That must be a very interesting dynamic, but I'm sure that sets him up to have a really good relationship with his head coach. That's something that's so important, especially at the quarterback position. You want there to be an established trust and established relationship that carries into games that stem from practice and things outside of practice. It's really cool as we got to see that replay right there. It's a great play from Gordon to bring that ball down out of the air.
That was Riley Howard who took it off the squib kick. Wheaton's going to get beautiful field position for Jamarius Courtney. He played at 3 different high schools. Somehow, someway, finds himself back near where he played high school.
Riley Howard taking the return. And it feels like we've been saying this all day long, but Wheaton is starting with great field position. Crown goes with the squib kick. Riley Howard takes it back to the 37-yard line.
New quarterback in for Wheaton, that would be Seamus O'Connell. Younger brother of Aiden O'Connell, going to take some snaps here in this postseason game, given this large lead. Malachi Jones on the carry. He is brought down by Jacalen Roy.
Yeah, Jacalen Roy, after going down early in the game with what seemed to be an injury, he's making a play right there.
Tackle on the play, number 4, Roy.
And this is a guy who leads the team in tackles, tackle for losses, and sacks. The UMAC Co-Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-UMAC, has a promising future. A freshman at Lafayette, Louisiana. Second down and 10 from the 37. O'Connell feels the rush underneath to Malachi Jones. Jones still out on his feet. They didn't roll him down. He'll get extra yardage, be right near the first down sticks.
Seamus O'Connell got the start against Carroll when Mark Furcucci was hurt. One of the things that he did so well was not force the ball downfield, but got the ball to his checkdowns, didn't take sacks, and was really efficient, allowed his playmakers to go out and make plays. That play was very resemblant to that.
It's a jumbo package. Aiden Kingsbury is lined up as a tight end alongside Riley Howard. Now they have Kingsbury out in the backfield. Preseason All-American as Coach Scott going into the bag of tricks. O'Connell, and he's got Courtnoven. Wheaton's got the first down as Nathan Tomlinson again on the tackle.
This offense comes with all the bells and whistles. They go with the jumbo package. They shift, they motion, and just flip it out to Seth Courtnoven down to the top of your screen for an easy completion and a first down.
Now the ball spotted at the 21-yard line. Seamus O'Connell Sr., Long Grove, Illinois, coming in this game with 6 passing touchdowns and 2 INTs. That might be a free play. O'Connell is going to take a deep shot to the end zone, and the pass is incomplete, as it was intended for with Jewett. Second down.
Offsides, defense, number 56, jumped into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Just forgot it. They did have the flag. That's why they took the shot. So 1st and 5 instead from the 16-yard line. And Xavier, given how Wheaton is putting their second stringers, potentially their third stringers as we get further into this game, what is Coach Scott looking for?
Yeah, he's looking for guys to be in the right spots and just to play really, really hard. 2 staples of this Wheaton program is relentless effort and to do your job, and that's what he's looking for. Not looking for anything special. Just go out and do what the plays are calling you to do.
There's Malachi Jones lunging for the end zone. He also lost the football. Is it a touchdown is the question. It could also be a touchback.
Looks like they're going to spot him just short. It was pretty close. This is a play that's supposed to go to the left. You see the pulling guards. You see Ben Juska pulling out to the left to the bottom of your screen, but he cuts it back and finds a crease. Not sure if he was down, but that's where they'll spot him, and it'll be first down and goal from the 1.
Jones staying in the ball game. Charlie ducked the one in motion. Malachi Jones, is he going to get in the end zone, trying to be pushed? I don't think he got there. Ja'Kalen Roy, the first Crown player on the tackle. It should be second down. The ball also just came out.
The runner's progress was ruled stopped. He is down, second down.
I mean, look at Ja'Kalen Roy working from the backside. He is such a phenomenal player. He's been a highlight in the Crown over the next few years. They've got a great player on their hands, someone who has a motor, someone who can play exceptionally well, even though he is a bit undersized for what you would consider a defensive lineman's weight and size. Makes another play there, forces a second down and goal.
Courtnova the one in motion. Roll the pocket to the left. O'Connell for the end zone. It's Seth Courtnoven. Is he in? It looks like he's in. Touchdown Wheaton as they hit the 60-burger.
Another great cap to the drive. Not as explosive as some of the earlier drives, but they still get it done. Seamus O'Connell is able to finish it through the air to Seth Courtnoven as he plows in for another touchdown.
First receiving touchdown for Courtnoven in the playoffs, as the extra point is good. As also his 9th receiving touchdown. Back to the replay.
Here we go back to the replay, and they start Seth Courtnoven at the top of your screen, and on the motion, they bring him down to the bottom, and they snap it while he's on the move. He is at full speed, heading straight for the pylon. Rudy Kreiner was the man in coverage right there, and that is so hard to defend across the entirety of the field. You're trying to avoid receivers, avoid your teammates who are guarding their man. There was just enough separation to get Seth Courtnoven into the end zone.
404 yards now for Wheaton. I mean, if you look at the stats coming in this game, Crown only allowing about 19 points per game, 269 yards per game. That puts them first out of the UMAC in terms of their scoring defense, 59th in all of Division III. And then for Wheaton, you look at their scoring defense, they're averaging about 18 points per game and giving up about 288 yards per game. Both of those second in the CCIW in terms of their scoring defense, 44th in all of Division III. I mean, you can argue that, and I don't want to make this case, but there is a difference between the CCIW and the UMAC.
Yeah, statistically, both of these teams look very similar in comparison to where they're at in their conferences. But yeah, Wheaton just has quite a lot of firepower in every single facet, particularly on offense, and that has really kind of exposed the Polars' defense and kind of given them too much to handle.
And for the UMAC specifically, ever since that auto bid a couple of seasons ago, more than 10 seasons ago, they are 0-13 in the NCAA playoffs. They've not fared that well. They've been outscored 720 to 81.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of generate the talent that's outside of the UMAC. But nonetheless, they are still competing, still a team that can come in and play really well at points.
Here's the carry up to the 31-yard line, as that was Devin Williams for a gain of a couple.
Doesn't look like the Polars' offensive strategy is going to change at all. You think that being down by a considerable amount here, that they would be trying to get up onto the football, try to throw the ball a little bit more. That doesn't seem to be the sentiment.
Second down. Courtney looking to pass. He's going to dial up the deep ball down the field. And is it caught? It looks like it's incomplete. They're trying to go back to Christian Robinson. But it is third down.
Aiden, I always speak too soon before a team actually does that. I was talking about how they weren't probably going to take a shot, and they do right there. Honestly, watching the film from the Polars, they are one of the better teams in throwing post routes. They do a great job of getting there, bringing that safety down, and then throwing the post over top. They had an opportunity for a big play right there, but they just couldn't haul it in.
Third down and 9. Courtney out to the right, and that pass tipped and intercepted. A chance at a pick six, and indeed it is for Joseph Bracey.
Joe Bracey on the year, only 10 pass break. Actually, he leads the team in pass breakups. Not only just 10 pass breakups, that's a lot, but has not found his way to many interceptions in comparison to some of his teammates. He had an interception right before halftime against North Central. He gets one there. The opportunistic corner takes it home for 6.
Of course, for Joe Bracey, that's technically his first career touchdown, as it just simply went right through the hands of Jalen Miranda.
Yeah, Miranda had an opportunity to catch it. Would love a little bit of a more accurate throw from Courtney. Had some pressure in his face, but playoffs that you probably could have gotten away with in the regular season. The competition has risen, and when you make mistakes like that, good teams are going to make you pay. Joe Bracey was able to do that there.
Yeah, for Crown, this has been an incredible season. I mean, they started the season 0-2. They lost to Hamline as well as Simpson, and then went on a run, coming into this game having won their last 3 games, 7-3, 6-1 out of the UMAC. I'm hoping to get to Greg Thomas's article. In fact, let's get to it right now. Greg Thomas talked about how when Coach Franz took over the team back in 2021, they barely had enough players to run a full practice. They had about 40 players. They were struggling with retention recruitment. They were struggling to get support from the school. They were averaging about 20 fans per home game, and this was the kicker for me. You had staff and faculty who worked at Crown who would literally go up to Coach Franz and apologize for how bad the program was. I don't think those same staff and faculty are apologizing now after what he's done this season.
Yeah, and even though this game seems to be out of reach for the Polars, what Coach Franz and this coaching staff have been able to do has been awesome. When you go out and you try to look for coaches that you want to kind of reinvigorate a program, you want guys that can come in and be culture changers and be people who can inspire people to come and play and to buy in to the culture that you've created and the culture that you want. Despite today, even though it hasn't gone their way, it's been a terrific season and a great testament to what they've been able to do that they've been building over the last 5 years.
Christian Lloyd, the one in motion. They'll go for a screen pass to the outside and nowhere to go for Donovan Munoz. It's second down and long.
They go with the quick screen, and there's just some hesitation right there. He's got yards, but you see he's trying to bounce back outside, and there's no leverage out there. His block is set up to where he has to run inside of him, but he tries to get outside, and instead of picking up a few yards, he loses them.
So second down and 12 for Coach Franz's unit. I just wanted to correct myself. It's not Coach Franz. I literally asked one of the Crown workers, how do you pronounce his name? It's Coach Franz. As there's a carry right there. And maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage is Courtney. It's third down.
This is another one of those plays where Wheaton is just winning at the point of attack. They have been all over it defensively today. In terms of stopping the run, as soon as Courtney gets downhill, as soon as he tucks that ball underneath his arm, they have been all over him. Really, the only running success that they've had is when he's improvised off of the pocket movement throws when he's rolling out.
Crown 4 of 10 on third down conversion, under 90 seconds to go in the third quarter, which has been dominated by Wheaton. Courtney, stretch run to the left side. He ran into his own offensive lineman. Actually ran into Christian Robinson, one of the receivers out there. Otherwise, he might have picked up the first down.
Yeah, they're pulling to the bottom of your screen, but he cuts it back. Like Tiger Cannon actually was able to trip him up so that he couldn't get that first down, but it was a good thing that he did get tripped up right there because he was going to be running for a long time if he would have been able to stay on his feet.
So 4th down and 3. Riken Hoekstra on the punt. As Colin Moore going to signal for the fair catch with 42 seconds to go here in this third quarter. I see Wheaton, barring some crazy catastrophe, likely going to be playing that second round against Wartburg. That being said, I mean, we talked about this before, some of the early playoff exits for Wheaton. You mentioned the Whitewater one, that was in 2023. Go back all the way to 2019. They had a really good team. They were the only team to beat North Central that year. They lost to St. John's, though, in the quarterfinals. Then 2021, they lost to Central in the second round. 2022, a first-round exit against Bethel. And then 2024, they didn't even qualify for the playoffs. Instead, had to settle for a Culver's Isthmus Bowl against UW Stout. That being said, 2025, what will that entail?
Yeah, they've got to be able to continue to build on this momentum. As there's a fumble right there, it'll go out of bounds, so it will stay Wheaton football.
Xander Carroll, incredibly lucky that the sideline was his friend on that.
The ball was fumbled forward out of bounds. It would be brought back to the spot of the fumble. Second down.
Yeah, so going back to the losses, go back to 2019 against St. John's. That was right here on home turf after a missed extra point late in the game that could have tied the game. Wheaton loses by 1, and then losing on the road to Central. The Dutch Rifle at quarterback threw for 60 touchdowns that year in the regular season.
They're trying to go for Luke Crawford. They're likely going to flag Eddie Howinger.
Yeah, and then the losses to against Bethel last year, or not last year, but a few years ago at home. And then on the road against Whitewater 2 seasons ago.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I think recapping all of those different things as we take a look at the replay here. Recapping all of that, Wheaton has just struggled to find ways to win the close games. There's always been some sort of minute detail. There's always been something throughout the consistency of the game that they haven't been able to finish, and then it comes back to bite them. So barring this game continues to go the way that it goes, playing on the road at Wartburg in Iowa is not going to be an easy test. It's going to be something that is a tall task.
That's the end of the third quarter. Timeout.
These are usually the games where Wheaton tends to struggle to finish, but they've got a great opportunity with a lot of momentum right now to go in to Wartburg and try to change history a little bit.
It's also kind of hard to gauge Wheaton this season because the true losses came against what happens to be the number 1 ranked team in the country, North Central, and the number 2 ranked team in the country in Mount Union. And I think most Division III football fans would make the case that there are 2 really good teams. There's a clear number 1, North Central. They're probably going to be massive favorites to get back to the Stag Bowl. And then there's a clear number 2 team in Mount Union. But then the question begs itself, who's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, all of the different teams that are kind of spread out. You've got St. John's, you've got Johns Hopkins, you've got Whitewater and River Falls. Obviously, Wartburg is in that conversation as well. Susquehanna is also in there. So you've got to be able to Actually, I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. We've got some great matchups coming up next week that are going to be awesome. Probably some semifinal caliber games coming up next week, barring that the higher seeds get to the next round. But yeah, it'll be interesting how things shake out. And then even with the declared kind of notion that everyone knows that North Central and Mount Union are the two best teams, we got to be looking out for an upset.
There's Sam McFadden on the catch to start this fourth quarter as he's still turning his way across the 15-yard line. That, as we said before, Wheaton likely to be playing 5th-ranked Wartburg next week.
Sam McFadden, talented young wide receiver out of Colorado, taking that 6-yard pass through the air and trudging through extra defenders to get down inside the red zone.
Coming into this game with 8 catches, 165 yards, and one receiving touchdown as it's a handoff to Malachi Jones. They'll take it to the 9-yard line.
Malachi Jones with the ball.
Yeah, but give credit to Crown on their season this year. Talked about it previously. But what they've been able to do, kind of turn it around this year and put things together, even with a young squad, it's really impressive and it's really hard to do. So kudos to them, even though this game has not panned out how they have wanted it to.
So 2nd down and 6. The ball spotted at the 9-yard line. Xander Carroll, the one in motion. Jones takes the carry right up the middle. Malachi Jones surging inside the 5-yard line. Kevon Davis, one of the 2 players on the tackle.
Malachi Jones hunting for that end zone. Beautiful jump cut to the backside. It's a great move, and this is something that you want to see, especially from your second team, still moving the ball, still running the ball really well. Usually after you sub your offensive linemen out, usually after you sub out your running backs and your tight ends, all the people who are involved in the run game, usually tends to take a decline, but they've still been able to run the ball effectively here in the second half.
3rd down, and they'll give it to Jones. Malachi Jones, does he have a first down with forward progress? He does, so it's going to be 1st down and goal from the 2-yard line.
Just run the simple inside zone. Number 0, Brian Mune Jr. was on that tackle, sweeping off the weak side. Bringing him down, but not before the 1st down marker. So it's 1st down and goal, and this is not the first time that Wheaton has been in this position.
Sam McFadden, Trent Gabriel in the backfield, and we got a timeout by Coach Scott.
Timeout, Wheaton. That's their first charge timeout of the half.
69-14, 11:59 to go here on ESPN Plus. The Thunder looking to move on to that 2nd round. That being said, when Wheaton plays Wartburg, you could see Wheaton losing that game, I mean, given how Wartburg, they've had an incredible season out of the ARC, but you could also see Wheaton making a potential run to the national championship, because what's fortunate about on that right side of the bracket is the fact that Mount Union and North Central are not on that side. If Mount Union and North Central continue to win their games, they'll meet each other in the semifinals, and the game will be played at Alliance, which paves the way for everyone else on the right side to get to the national championship.
That's true. Usually they've been on 2 different sides of the bracket and they've met in the Stag Bowl, but now them being on the left side of the bracket, all of the teams on the right side are kind of licking their chops to try to not have to play them until the Stag Bowl. Obviously, some more business to attend to as we get to the semifinals and to the Stag Bowl, but all of these different teams looking to make their run, see if they can knock off either of those teams that are coming from the left side of the bracket.
Here's Trent Gabriel on the carry. It was Jaden Gray who originally made contact. Looks like a gain of about 1 yard.
This was an interesting play. Try to get leverage running outside with Sam McFadden, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Wheaton snapping it quickly with Seamus O'Connell just plowing to the end zone for that rushing touchdown. As the Thunder get over 70 points for the first time since beating Milliken 2 seasons ago.
This has been a display. Offensive dominance throughout this entirety of this game. They haven't had any long fields to work with. I think their worst field position was their own 37-yard line or something around there. Another short field and another touchdown.
And the extra point, it is true. That's Beer Batoni on the extra point.
There's the tush push once again on the replay. Seamus O'Connell finding his way into the end zone. And if you're Coach Scott, you're this Wheaton College coaching staff, you are so proud of these guys right now. Just how they've came out and have dominated from the first kick all the way down to the moment that we're in right now. They have played well as they possibly could have, honestly, over the first 3 quarters and change that we've been throughout this game.
So if you're just wondering what is the most points Wheaton has scored in a single game, that would be 90 points against Elmhurst on October 11th, 1958. They won that game 90-6. I was just trying to search that stat up. Right now, Wheaton needs 14 more points to tie that record. I'm not sure if they're going to get to that, given how they're just trying to waste as much clock as possible. But so far, an excellent showing by Wheaton here in first round coverage. First time ever meeting Crown, as they will signal for the fair catch. But kind of going back to the bracket, if you're wondering why Mount Union and North Central are going to meet each other in the semifinals, if they do, it's because of Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins against Washington Jefferson, literally the final game of the regular season. Lost. So Johns Hopkins lost to Washington Jefferson. Johns Hopkins was originally the #1 team from MPI, and then it was Mount Union at 2, North Central at 5. With Johns Hopkins losing, they dropped. That moved Mount Union to #1 overall, and then North Central moved up to 4. That being said, the top 8 seeds are protected. So that guarantees that 1 and 4 will play each other in the semifinals. That's why Mount Union and North Central, if they were to win out and get into the semifinals, that would be the matchup.
Yeah, such a key game where Johns Hopkins was projected to win. Washington Jefferson pulling out a win, winning the conference. Kind of shaking up the playoff picture. There is Devin Williams. He comes into today with 82 carries, 261 yards on the season. No touchdowns, but he is a solid second running back behind Donovan Solomon, as both of them are in the backfield right now.
2nd and 8 from the 27-yard line. Courtney going to keep it himself. Ethan Brunner, the first person to meet him. I think they may give him a bit of forward progress. It's 3rd down.
Ethan Brunner, the sophomore interior defensive lineman, has had to step up and play some major snaps. Played against North Central. He's really had to mature over these past few weeks, step up and be ready, as he has been in a lot of the defensive packages. He's a great run stopper. He makes a nice play there.
3rd and 8 from the 27-yard line. As Crown, at this point, just playing for some pride, trying to enjoy themselves here in this season. Courtney going to take the deep shot down the field. It's going to be incomplete, as they were intending for Christian Robinson. It looks like there are no flags. It's 4th down.
4th down.
And they go with the out route and the sit route, and then the corner route over top. what the football world would call a spot concept. As Courtney was just trying to take a shot deep. But they were not on the same page. Good defense by Tiger Cannon. And they'll force another Polars punt.
Hoekstra to send this one away for Crown. The second team all UMAC, averaging about 33 punt yardage. Second out of the UMAC. Wheaton not going to touch this one. This will be down right near the 35-yard line there, and officially say the 33. That being said, when I found out that Wheaton and Crown were playing against each other, my first thought was, who's Crown? I have actually never heard of this program before, and I'm not trying to say I don't know everyone. I really don't know everyone, but after doing a little bit of research, I found out, okay, they're about a 45-minute drive from Minneapolis. They originally opened in 1916 as the St. Paul Bible Institute. Their first athletic program, you gotta go back to 1956, was men's basketball. They won 9 national championships. That being said, they're still looking for their first NCAA playoff win in either sport. As Finley Dorio just checked into the game, he'll keep it himself on the zone read. Third string quarterback out of Wisconsin getting some action. Xavier, you're high on him when we had our game against Carroll.
Yeah, he's an exceptional athlete. He's one of those quarterbacks that is a great thrower, but as you see right here, he can make it happen with his legs. Coach Scott and company love him, and look at that block by number 19, Malachi Jones, on Rudy Kreiner, paving a way for his quarterback.
He's played in 4 games. Carroll, Illinois Wesleyan, Elmhurst, and North Park. Has 2 passing touchdowns on the season. Go out for the one in motion. Dorio to the outside, that pass low and incomplete. They were trying to go for Luke Crawford.
Yeah, Brian Immune Jr. coming off of the edge. When it's an RPO throw like that, it's so uncomfortable to have somebody right in your lap, especially when you're on the near hash throwing to the field. It's a much harder throw to complete than it looks. Just not enough sauce on that hot dog right there. And it'll be 3rd down.
From the 37-yard line, 9 minutes to go. Roll the pocket to the left. Dorio hit as he released it. The ball's on the ground. It looks like Crown has it. And it looks like they do.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Crown. First down.
Fumble was recovered by number 4, Roy.
And look who got in there, Jacalen Roy. Once again, making a huge play. We've seen so many rollouts today with the right-handed quarterbacks to their left hand. And right as Finley Dorio was about to rear back and throw that football, Roy comes in, hits his arm, and he loses control of that football. It's a turnover for Wheaton.
So Crown back into the ball game. Courtney going to keep it himself, and he's decked. It looks like Ethan Brunner was the one who immediately made contact on him.
Yeah, he's coming from the backside. The number 55, Ashton Davis, the left tackle, isn't able to get in front of him and cut him off because the left guard was pulling. Ethan Brunner making the Polars offensive line pay with a minimal gain.
300 yards so far for Crown. Meanwhile, Wheaton has 486 yards of offense. 2nd and 10 with the play clock running down at 4. Christian Robinson, the one in motion. And there's a sack. Courtney is decked yet again by Ethan Brunner.
He is having himself a half. This time on the pass rush. Looked like initially there was great protection, but great coverage down the field. Courtney had nowhere to go with the football, and he just holds on to it too long. I don't think that was bad. Pass protection up front from the Polars offensive line. There's just nowhere for Courtney to go down the field. It was more of a coverage sack than anything.
Had a sack against Illinois Wesleyan as well as a sack against Carthage. Here's another deep shot down the field, incomplete. Going to go back to Christian Robinson, and it's going to be fourth down.
They try to run the post play once again that they almost hit earlier that was dropped. But instead, this time, Tiger Cannon doesn't take the bait. Mason Haas, number 26, is step for step with Robinson. Forces an incompletion, and here's a fourth down and forever for the Polars as they've got nothing to lose right now.
Just want to say Wheaton has 6 sacks in this ball game. Majority of that came in the first quarter. Courtney out to his left, given protection. He's going to lob it deep for the end zone. There's also a flag on the play. And what's the ruling? Looks like it's incomplete. Honeycook, the intended receiver, will check the marker.
Looks like there's defensive holding or...
There are 2 flags, one at the 41-yard line. The other one is at the 26.
Referee's still conferring here. Not sure what that could be. There are 3 flags on the field.
Where do you see the third one?
One was just picked up.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. Ineligible receiver downfield, offense, number 67. Pass interference, defense, number 27. Those penalties offset. Replay, fourth down.
So the penalty on Crown goes against Donovan Quincy, the left tackle, and then the penalty against Wheaton went against A.J. Pace.
Yeah, number 67 is working on Chandler Bryant, and he just goes past the line of scrimmage. Good call there by the officials. But offsetting penalties because Wheaton was penalized as well. Crown will get another crack at it. We'll see what they draw up here on fourth down and long.
So Crown in this game 0 of 1 on fourth down conversions on the season, 9 of 19, third out of the UMAC. Here's Courtney trying to step up in the pocket. He will launch it deep, and it is caught. Out of the backfield, it's Solomon, lowering the shoulder inside the 10.
That is a beautiful play, a beautiful ball, and a beautiful catch. They go play action. They've got 4 receivers all working deep down the middle of the field. But nobody checks the running back who leaks out. And that's a great heads up by Courtney, because if he just throws a bullet pass right there, it could get knocked down. Solomon may not get to the first down marker, but he puts it up and over, lets him run underneath it. Great concentration from Solomon. And they've got another first down off of that fourth down conversion.
Looks like Coach Franz will take timeout.
Timeout, Crown. That's their first charge timeout of the half.
And as we keep saying this before, not the performance that Crown wanted, but they have a promising future ahead of themselves, because assuming Jamarius Courtney stays, and then they got their Defensive Player of the Year, Jacqueline Roy, you're talking about the best player on offense out of the UMAC and the best player on defense out of the UMAC. There hasn't been a consistent champion that has come out of that conference. In fact, the last back-to-back champion came in the 2018-19 season. Every single year, someone else has won that conference. Northwestern Minnesota, or Minnesota Morris. Crown could be the first consistent team to keep making pushes back into the playoffs.
That's true, especially with what Coach Franz has been able to do over these past 5 seasons that he's been the head coach. They've got all of the centerpieces, and they've got a young team. That's what's so great. Even though this is not the outcome that they might have wanted right now, they've got freshmen who have played in this game throughout its entirety. That's something that they're going to carry even when they're seniors. So when they're able to come back, and if they can find their way back to wins and to the NCAA tournament, then that could pay dividends.
Marius Courtney met by Ephraim Nitz, a junior at Rockford, Illinois, playing in his 8th game.
Yeah, he's just unblocked coming off the backside, and instead of attacking to the bottom of your screen, Courtney kind of hesitates a little bit, tries to bounce it back to the right side. Ephraim Nitz is there to bring him down.
Assuming they're going to call that a tackle for loss. If it was a sack, that would be the 7th for Wheaton in this game. Second and 11, the play clock is running down. It's at 1. I think Crown was trying to get a timeout off, and they do.
Timeout, Crown. That's their second charge timeout of the half.
But meanwhile, for Wheaton, they're going to be at Wartburg next week. What are you expecting from that matchup?
Wartburg is one of the more physical teams outside of all of the top teams in the country. They've got a huge offensive line. They usually have a really stout defense as well. So it's going to be a physical game. It's going to have to come in there and play much bigger than what they are on paper. It's going to be a really physical game, and it's going to come down to who's better on third down and who can take care of the football and be opportunistic when the other team is not doing great with taking care of the football offensively. That's usually what the games always come down to, especially as you move through the playoffs and you play against teams that have such great skill sets. You're going to have talent on both sides of the field at all times, but it comes down to being detail-oriented, taking care of the football, and winning on the money down so that you can keep drives alive and then also stall out drives when you're on defense.
Second down and 11. Courtney lobbing it for the end zone. That pass is going to fall incomplete in the direction of Christian Robinson as it is third down.
They tried to go heavy play action and then just run 2 crossers across the field. First of all, there was great pressure up front. And there was also really good coverage, just playing bump and run coverage is what it's called. They play press man at the line of scrimmage and then run with their responsibilities, as there's a flag and looks like there will be an illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution, offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty, replay third down.
Penalties against Jakari Hunnicook. Third and 16.
This is probably 2-down territory for the Polars, barring any crazy negative play that knocks them out of range. But you got to be thinking that this might be a more of a conservative call to set them up on 4th down.
Another stoppage of play. What is it this time? It looks like a timeout is taken by Wheaton.
Timeout, Wheaton. That's our second charge timeout of the half.
To kind of go around the rest of Division III, a couple of scores went final in the first round. Muhlenberg defeated Union 34-26. They'll be playing Mountain Union next week. Whitworth and Chapman just kicked off. LaGrange taking care of Framingham State 24-21. They'll be taking on Barry next week. And then Hanover took care of Grove City 23-15. They'll have North Central at Naperville. Susquehanna defeating Washington and Jefferson. They'll have Christopher Newport next week. And then Springfield defeating Cortland 21-7. They'll be taking on Johns Hopkins. And it looks like Coe, who just, they're up 44-7, barring a comeback from the Falcons. They will have Bethel next week. But looking at this right side of the bracket, the bracket that Wheaton's in, I would say you can, it's kind of up for grabs. And it's a very tough bracket. River Falls, they're the 3rd-ranked team in the country. Wartburg's the 5th-ranked team in the country. And, of course, Whitewater, DePaul, St. John's, Monmouth. It's a loaded region.
Yeah, even though the region in comparison to the 3 others might be a little less stiff in competition, that doesn't mean that it's any less more competitive, as there's an interception from Mason Haas.
They're trying to go for Jakari Hunnicook. That's another takeaway for Wheaton.
Actually, it's they're going to call it incomplete. They're going to say he was out of bounds. But Courtney had plenty of time in the pocket, trying to get it to Honeycook. Like he might have had his foot out of bounds when he was coming down. Good defensive play to be on tap there. But yeah, just going back to the regions, if there was to be a quote-unquote easy route, it would be in this division. But like you said, still a lot of really good teams. Even next week against Wartburg, you got St. John's and River Falls, and also Whitewater. So some really good teams still left on the table in this region.
Another stoppage of play.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense, number 16, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Of course, going with River Falls, you could argue that they might have the Glory Trophy, potential Glory Trophy. I don't know who's going to win the Glory Trophy. Ever since Luke Lanen left, he's won the last 2, but this year seems to be a little bit more up for grabs. Caleb Blaha of River Falls. You know, if I were to vote, I don't vote on this stuff, but I might give it to Monty Quinn of Curry. He's the one that leads all Division III in rushing yards with over 2,000.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to watch any of his tape or really hear too much about him, but rushing for over 2,000 yards in a season, you're doing something right.
Courtney taken down on the play by Jordan Johnson.
Some more laundry on the field, but see, Wheaton is convinced that it is against the Polars. What a great play from Jordan Johnson. Actually got the opportunity to host him on his visit when he was still in high school. Got to get to know him over the past few years as a teammate. He's an awesome guy, an amazing team player, always smiling. Get some of the fruit of his labor on that last play if this holds up.
Appearing in his 16th game, it would be his 2nd sack of the season if they were to not overturn the ruling, whatever the referees are talking about.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 46. Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield, number 14. Those penalties will offset. It'll be 4th down.
I swear, Xavier, this drive will not end.
I was just about to say, we're about to get it right back up again, but yeah, just some hands up into the face. You can't have it up underneath the face mask or near the neck area and push up. Jordan Johnson just got a little bit too handsy. We'll see if this is the last play of the drive or not.
4th and goal from the 21-yard line. Courtney to the end zone. Is it caught? It looks like it was caught, but short of the 1st down by Christian Robinson. That almost was a touchdown.
I feel like Crown, whenever their back has been up against the wall and they need a shot, they've been able to complete passes like this. I feel like that's what their touchdowns have been. And great catch by Christian Robinson to come down with that. He was just 1 yard short. Kind of reminds me of my Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl, coming up 1 yard short against the Rams.
So now Wheaton's offense taking over. Honestly, the worst starting field position they've had with Finley Dorio.
Yeah, this is their worst starting field position by about 30 yards consistently.
Kenny Jagger is in the backfield alongside Dorio. And they're just going to try to create as much room as possible with a QB sneak. They're going to say a gain of 2.
Doria, the keeper.
Yeah, just going with the quarterback sneak, trying to get some more breathing room.
Ball starts the 4-yard line.
As we inside 5 minutes left in this game. It's great to see some of the young guys coming in. Kenny Jagger, freshman coming in at running back. He'll get the touch right here.
Number 29, Trent Gabriel.
That's Trent Gabriel. It was Kenny Jagger. I was fooled by the PA announcer. I should have trusted you, Xavier.
It's all right. Trent Gabriel was on the field right there. He was just going across the formation to pick up a block.
So 3rd and 4 from the 7-yard line. As the Thunder just trying to create themselves as much room as possible for a potential punt, but will also like to get that first down.
Polars showing blitz here. Let's see how they pick it up.
5-man rush. Dorio pass to the outside, incomplete in the direction of Kenny Jagger. Should bring a punting situation.
Another
Injury timeout for the defense. Please reset the play clock to 40 seconds.
I believe that was David Hernandez who is down.
Conclusion of today's game. NCAA rule says you may not go on the field.
The junior out of Wyoming, Little Snake River.
10 minutes we put on the scoreboard.
That being said, I just wanted to give credit to Crown. We've obviously talked about how good of a quarterback Jamarius Courtney has been this season. He has broken a whole lot of single-season records. As we said, 1,619 rushing yards. He passed Matt Michaud's 1,001 in 2014. He has 17 rushing touchdowns, which passes Tyler Hallblade and Matt Michaud, who had 15. He averages 162 rushing yards per game, which passes Lamont Johnson's 101 in 2008. 8.6 yards per carry passing Josh Edlund's 7 yards per carry in 2016. I mean, he's had an incredible season.
Incredible season. Actually outstanding, I would say. Especially considering his journey going from JUCO, that not panning out the way that he thought it would, and then finding his way to Crown once again. It's been awesome to get to watch him play, even though he hasn't gotten to make as many plays as I'm sure he would like. He has been really special to watch.
Here's Josiah Smith, the all-conference punter. As that'll be a fair catch by Rudy Kreiner. Speaking of Rudy Kreiner, he himself will probably go down as a Crown legend, entering this game with 359 tackles, which is the most tackles in Crown history. Also with 1,486 kick yardage, which also happens to be first all-time in Crown history.
Yeah, that's really cool, especially as a safety. Usually they're back playing coverage, playing deep, playing in the middle of the field. But he is giving so much to this Crown program in terms of his production, in terms of his leadership, in terms of just how he has played. 300-plus tackles is not easy to do, even if you're playing all 4 seasons as a starter. But he was able to do it, and he's done a great job.
Courtney on the deep shot. Instead, it's picked off. That is Tiger Cannon, who's had himself an excellent day on special teams and now contributing on defense.
Yeah, Tiger Cannon is an absolute playmaker. We see the replay. They just run the post wheel concept to the top of your screen. But this is a bit predetermined. The ball's inside just a little bit. Tiger Cannon, the senior, making a dive and catch, securing that ball through contact on the ground. And with Crown's best field position of the day, they give it away on a turnover.
For Tiger Cannon, only played in 3 games last year, mainly because of injury. 2023, 10 games played, 36 tackles, a sack, and an interception. Graduate senior at Lake Villa, Illinois. Dorio is going to keep it himself on the speed option before pitching to the outside to Kenny Jagger, as they will mark it at the 10-yard line.
Go with the motion and run the speed option back into the boundary. Great play there from Ryan Immune Jr. Staying low. not declaring to the quarterback so early, he forces Finley Dorio to make a decision instead of himself making the decision, and then he's able to wrap up the ball carrier for a nice small gain.
Second down, Jagger on the carry. And they'll mark him down at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Wheaton just trying to run the ball, play this conservative. But Kenny Jagger is a hard runner. Gets a few more than maybe what it looked like from up here in the box. Just putting his nose down and going back to the third down conversation. Know that this got out of hand very quickly, but in third downs, Wheaton has lived in this third and short. And it's been really good for them.
Dorio has Xander Kerr on the RPO, going to move the chains and be a first down for Wheaton, as that should take us to the 2-minute timeout. And for Wheaton, this is shocking. They have not had to face third down that much. They are now 5 of 7.
Yeah, they've been really
That's
good.
That's the 2-minute timeout.
They've been really good on third down, or on first and second down. That has put them in some really good positions to either pick up the first down on first and second down, or to be in third down in short situations. They've been in third down and 1, third down and 2, third down and 3 at absolute most. And that's exactly where you want to be. You want to stay what's called on schedule, and they've done that today. And it's been great for their offense in totality, even as we wind it down to the last 2 minutes of this game.
Thunder in this game, 497 yards. Meanwhile, Crown with 342. As we said before, Wheaton going to be playing at 5th-ranked Wartburg next Saturday. For Crown, they will fall to 7-4. Their magical season will come to an end, but plenty of optimism for Coach Franz and his unit, given the talent that could be returning, the growth that they've had from season to season, some of the revival for that Crown program on their 4th winning season in program history. Here's a pass to the outside, caught by Sam McFadden. McFadden trying to turn it upfield with a nice spin move. He's right there, the first down sticks, and it looks like they will move it.
This is great recognition from Finley Dorio. They've got 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, but only 2 defenders out there. Number 34, Xavier Bueno, was trying to get his hands up, get in that passing lane, because he knew that they didn't have numbers out there if he didn't get in front of it. A great read, great execution on the outside. It looks like Wheaton is going to kneel this one out, call this a day.
Indeed, Dorio takes the knee. The Thunder are going to settle with a 76-14 victory over the Crown Polars, their first ever time meeting each other. And Wheaton can pack the bags and get ready for Iowa.
Just a great display of Wheaton and what they've been able to do over this entire season, even with the 2 losses against Mount Union and to North Central. They have executed at a high level. They've caused turnovers on defense, gotten after the quarterback, been all over the run game defensively, and then offensively have been able to get it done through the air and on the ground specifically today. They're able to come away with a huge victory to send them to Waverly next week.
Wheaton with 524 total yardage. Their defense also doing a great job, forcing 3 takeaways. All those happen to be interceptions. 286 passing yards, along with 152 rushing yards. Mark Vercucci really did not have to do that much. He was 14 of 16 for 214 yards and 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, he didn't have to do too much because their running game was efficient, and also they played with amazing field position all game long. That gave them short fields and gave them the opportunity to score quick, score often, and score fast.
And Matt Kreider, the leading rusher, had 48 total yards. But meanwhile, for Ben Juska, I think we said this before, 4 total touchdowns would have performed for him, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he came back, and that's exactly why you want him on your club, on your team. If you're Wheaton, he is a playmaker, specifically in the playoffs when the going gets tough. He's a veteran guy who's been in that position before, and he showed all of that seniority and the experience today, getting into the end zone 4 different times today.
For Peter Johannek, 4 tackles, 2 sacks. I mean, this was a Wheaton defense that had 7 sacks in the entire game.
Yeah, they got after the quarterback, and 5 of those came in the first quarter, and they were just getting after the quarterback. They had a game plan to shut down Courtney all game long, and they delivered on that game plan. They zeroed in on him, got him contained in the QB-designed run game, and then also got after him in the passing game as well. Brought him down 7 times, and that led to a lot of their defensive success today.
Well, it's been great once again here in this first-round coverage. Wheaton will be taking on Wartburg next week alongside Xavier Jones. I'm Aiden Kong signing off on ESPN+.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/sayyes-to-officiating for more information on how to get started.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.